Good evening, friends. Welcome to our YouTube program on VASA concept. Today is the second day of the program. Yesterday, we received a wonderful comments by all of you, and the enthusiasm I could see that is phenomenal. So today we are going to have a few more case discussions, and we will learn a lot from those cases as we learned from yesterday also. If you are having any queries, please write down in the chat group. We will definitely take all the queries. Friends, take the screenshot of your presence between 7 to 7:30, 7:30 to 8, and 8 to 8:30. 3 screenshots you take it, and we will give the details of the form at the end of the session in the comment box, not in the chat. So you do only one entry at the end only. After finishing of the entire program, you just see the comment box and you can get the link from there only, and then you enter. By tomorrow afternoon 12, we will keep the forms open by tomorrow afternoon 12. So once again, I welcome you all. Welcome to the guest also. Thank you so much for joining. We start the program. Thank you.
Thank you, Neeraj.
Yeah, Abhijit.
First of all, I would like to thank Dr. VASA and Vivek sir for giving us this opportunity, for giving us this platform to share our experiences in order to bring the positive change in the life of brain injured patients. Thank you, Dr. VASA ma'am and Vivek sir. So good evening, friends. My name is Abhijit, and I am father of 12-year-old Ojas, who is cerebral palsy. Through this webinar, I would like to share with you our 11 years of experiences in terms of contemporary treatments we tried for Ojas before starting VASA concept. And I would like to also share our experiences with VASA concept. I would like to also specifically mention that I have no intention to say anything negative to anyone, but just to present the facts and share our experiences. So to start with our journey, Ojas was born on 22nd August 2007 at one of the well-known hospital in Bangalore. He was a 1-month preterm baby and didn't cry at the time of his birth. He had minor jaundice as well, and hence shifted to NICU for 15 days. When baby got discharged after 15 days, everyone in the family was super excited to welcome the newborn baby at home. And next few months were really the happiest months of our life. When Ojas was 7 months old, he was suffering from minor cough and cold problems. So we had taken him to nearby pediatrician. At that time, she had noticed that Ojas' muscles were stiff compared to other babies, and she insisted us to consult the neurologist. After getting the opinion of our friends and relatives, we decided to consult one expert neurologist at Tardev, Mumbai. But you all know how difficult it is to get the appointment of the expert doctor. But somehow we could manage to get the appointment for the latter month. On the appointment day, when we reached hospital, it was long waiting outside her cabin. Baby was restless and continuously crying, and we were also really tired due to the long commute. Nearly after 2 hours, finally our turn came. We were really worried about what she will say about our baby, and we were hoping that nothing would be serious. After checking baby's history reports, she just asked us to get MRI and the EEG test done. We were listening these words first time in our life and had no idea about what this test meant for or how they are really done. But when we were taken to a large tube-shaped machine, and when the hospital staff made Ojas lie inside that tube, we really got scared. After nearly half an hour, when the MRI scan completed and the baby was in our arm, we breathed a sigh of relief. After the MRI, it was the time for EEG test. We were not in the condition to do any more tests at all, but we had no choice. I mean, somehow we prepared ourselves and went for the EEG test. During the EEG, many number of electrodes were attached to the scalp of Ojas. Though it was a routine job for technician, we were really disturbed to see our 8 months baby in that condition. Finally, the test completed and we went to meet neurologist again. After checking reports, she told us that the baby got brain injury. He is a CP and there would be delay in achieving the milestones such as standing, walking, etc. And she asked us to start physiotherapy for Ojas. By the time we stepped out of her cabin, our mind went completely blank. It was the most disheartening moment of our life to hear all that about our innocent baby. Worrying about our baby's future, we started for home. And as per her advice, we started physiotherapy for our baby. And this was the start of our vicious cycle. Life started getting hectic as we had to commute for an hour on daily basis to the rehabilitation center, wait there for our turn, then do the physiotherapy for an hour, and by the time we come back to home, we used to fully exhaust. This routine continued for next few months, but without any visible improvement as such. His neck control was still poor. And most of the time he used to cry and he was not cooperative at all during the physiotherapy. One day, physiotherapist asked us to consult the neurologist again because his muscles were too stiff to continue with the physiotherapy. On the second appointment, when we entered the cabin of that expert neurologist, we found that she was talking with a small group of her students. She then asked us to lie Ojas on the bed, and rather than understanding our concerns first, she had her students examine Ojas so that she could give some lessons to them. And that was the really annoying thing. But later, when we spoke to her about physiotherapist's concern and the muscle stiffness, she advised us to start Pacitane and the Rivotril tablets. She did not mention any side effects though. When we started these medicines, his muscles seemed a bit relaxed, but it also made him very drowsy. He was not active at all. And moreover, he started suffering with the constipation. And this continued for the next 2 or 3 weeks. So looking all these negative side effects, we ourselves decided to stop this medicine as we could sense more harm than actual benefits. And we also stopped committing to rehabilitation center on daily basis because it was getting hectic. So we decided to do the physiotherapy from home itself. Today, when I look back and think about this whole incident about our neurologist appointment, I really wonder, in what way the neurologist helped us to solve our actual problem? Was her job only to make us undergo certain test for our baby with which she could diagnose that the baby is cerebral palsy or not? And even if that was the case, how the patient was diagnosed as cerebral palsy before the MRI or any other machine for that matter was invented? I couldn't get that part. And I also do not understand how come the expert doctor suggests the drugs like Pacitane or the Rivotril. And these drugs are not only have many negative side effects, but it also makes the patient's brain very weak. We are talking about the brain injury on one hand, and on other hand, in the name of treatment, we are making the patient's brain dull. Honestly, I couldn't understand this part at all. Being an expert in this field, we had really high hope from her, but it was unfortunate that she could not help us in terms of giving the solution to our actual problem. By the time we started the physiotherapy from home, Ojas turned 2. I just wanted to show you some pictures, how his condition was. So you can see when the Ojas was 2, his wrist were twisted and there was the tightness in his hands. So we started the physiotherapy from home. Since he was 2 at that time, any normal baby start the walking at this age. So our physiotherapist also suggested that we should make the Ojas stand with some support. He did also mention that standing would really help him in terms of developing his leg muscles and improving the weight bearing capacity. We thought what physiotherapist is saying is right, and we started Ojas mixed stand with the help of AFO splint. But since his body itself was not ready to stand, he used to be scared of falling down, and then start cry and apply a lot of negative force. And without proper knowledge and the understanding of how the injured brain works, the physiotherapist, on other hand, used to make him stand forcefully. And we as a parents had the impression that the physiotherapist knows everything and what he was doing right. So it was a complete mess. And most of the CP children have difficulty in speech and they cannot express their pain or trouble apart from crying. Same thing happened with Ojas. And we didn't understand what pain he was going through at that time. After a couple of months, we noticed that there was a discrepancy in the length. There was a discrepancy in his legs. When we asked physiotherapist about this, he told us that nothing serious. I mean, we should only put some additional coating to the splint with the shorter legs when we are making him stand. But there is nothing serious about it. Unfortunately, this forceful standing had resulted in the dislocation of his left hip, and because of which there was a discrepancy in the length of his legs. But we only came to know about it very later stage. We are still working hard to restore his dislocated hip. As there was no visible improvement with the physiotherapy, we tried our luck with treatments like Ayurveda, homeopathy, Reiki, etc., etc. But again, no visible improvement was seen with any of these treatments. As Ojas was growing old, we were also worrying about his education part, but due to physical limitation, it was not possible to give him the admission in the normal school. When Ojas was 8, we came to know about one government-aided special school in Bangalore. Apart from education, the school also had the facility for physiotherapy, speech therapy, consulting, orthopedic, etc., etc. Though there were similar schools in Mumbai, commuting on daily basis was very difficult. So considering the different pros and cons, we decided to shift to Bangalore and give him admission there with the hope that he could at least socialize with other children there and also could get benefits of the different therapies. Special chairs provided by the schools were made of wooden material, and with the help of chest belt, children used to sit in that chair during the morning class. Due to the excessive muscle stiffness, Ojas was not comfortable in that chair, and we had to get him another chair with soft cushion. But again, we had to make him sit with external support only. Things were fine until one day, physiotherapist suggested to go for the buttocks treatment. We had stopped muscle relaxant long back, and we were also worried about Ojas' excess muscle tone. And moreover, the contracture were also developed in his joints. So we went for a buttocks and also did extensive physiotherapy post buttocks with the hope that his muscle tightness would reduce. However, unfortunately, his muscle stiffness still remained the same, and we didn't see any improvement in that part. Looking at his condition, the orthopedic surgeon who used to consult in that school, he convinced us to go for the adductor tenotomy surgery. As a parent, our situation was like lost in the dense forest and not finding any way out. We had no other option than trusting the person showing us any way. Unfortunately, we still regret that we trusted the wrong person who was orthopedic and only had the good knowledge about the surgery of the fractured bone, but he had no knowledge about how the injured brain works and what really needs to be done about spastic muscles which are resulted due to the brain injury. On the day of operation, when the hospital staff shifted him to anesthesia room, everyone from our family was crying inside and consoling each other. Post-adductor surgery, when Ojas came out of the operation room, we saw that the plaster was put on both of his legs with horizontal separator. And we were not told anything about this before the surgery. We were completely shocked to see that. And we were worrying, I mean, how he could properly sleep in this position, and even how he could pass the urine in that difficult position. Next 2 to 3 weeks were most painful days of our life due to plaster on both of his legs and the separator. I mean, it became challenging for the Ojas to do even the basic movements. Moreover, he was having the unbearable post-surgical pain for which the doctor had prescribed the sedative drugs. Let me just show you the photo after surgery. So you can see this was the condition. I mean, you can see his glooming face due to the surgical pain, and you can also see, the plaster on both of his legs. There was a separator also, but it is not visible in this photo. I can bet that any normal person like you or me cannot remain in that position even for a day. But here, the innocent baby had to go through this painful process for 3 weeks. Everyone in our family was psychologically disturbed. But we got some relief when the plaster was removed after 3 weeks. But like any other treatments, surgery also not provided any benefits in terms of improving the situation. On the contrary, it only worsened the situation. When the Ojas mind now filled with all negative experiences. Decision to shift to Bangalore and getting the Ojas admitted to special school turned completely wrong, as there was no kind of visible improvements, even after trying the buttocks and the adductor release surgery. Meantime, I heard about some other treatments like stem cell and the hyperbolic oxygen chamber and few others, but fortunately, we did not go for it. When I look back and think about all our journey before the VASA concept, I realized that none of the treatments we tried for Ojas provided any positive results, but it only added the pain and suffering. And ironically, not a single doctor was responsible to this. Agreed. All the doctors and the physiotherapists we consulted were doing the treatment based on what was taught to them, but no one also questioned the efficacy of the treatment, and no one had any clear roadmap or the goals for the recovery of Ojas. Whatever the positive changes the doctor used to claim, like reducing the spasticity due to muscle relaxant or any other for that matter, all of them were illusionary in nature, but it was not the true recovery at all. I realized that all these treatments are actually reactive in nature, when in actual they should be proactive. I mean, the typical approach was like, if any child has any stiff muscles, okay, give him muscle relaxant. If any child has developed the contracture, let's try buttocks. Hip is dislocated, surgeon is ready. I mean, don't you all agree that this kind of reactive approach will be harmful to child in the long run? No one really tried, going to the root cause and understand what actually causing the stiffness in muscle, or why the contracture is getting developed in the first place, or what could be the reason for the dislocation of the hip, and how that could have been avoided. I mean, these questions were really important. Keeping in mind the critical challenges that CP children and their families have to face on day-to-day basis, we can't really afford this reactive treatment anymore. And as a responsible doctors, don't you all agree that time has come to think out of the box and focus more and more on the proactive solutions, so that the issues like contracture and the hip dislocation and the fracture due to low bone density will not surface anymore, and the child will not have any pain or trouble unnecessarily. After all these negative experiences with buttocks and surgery and all the physiotherapy, we had almost lost all hopes and didn't know what to do next. But one fine day, while surfing on net, I came to know about Dr. Rajul VASA and VASA concept. And it was the major turning point of our life in terms of bringing the positive change. I watched her interview on Marathi channel And believe me, it was totally different experience. That interview was completely different from any other doctor's interviews I had seen previously. Dr. Vasa was talking from the bottom of her heart, and her true compassion for brain injured patients was reflecting in every point she was explaining. In case of other interviews, it was only a show of their knowledge and throwing some complex medical terms which normal man cannot understand anytime. Sometimes I really wonder, I mean, if these doctors who claim to have very good knowledge, expertise, I mean, what could be the reason that the condition of the CP patient still remains same after so many treatments? Dr. Vasa had explained about the whole situation of the brain injured patients, their unique challenges, and also the scientific solution to overcome these challenges. So first time in our journey, I felt that this is what we were looking for. And another thing that we noticed with the VASA concept is empowerment. I mean, need of empowering the parents or the family members to help the patient become independent. I mean, this was very unique thing with the VASA concept. As per the VASA concept, in order to achieve the fast recovery of the patient, minimum 6 to 8 hours of work is needed on daily basis. But we all know, I mean, it's not practical for any doctor or physiotherapist to work with patient for such a long hours on daily basis. So considering this challenge, VASA concept empowers the parents, family members of the patient so that they can work with patient anytime, anywhere and achieve the recovery. I mean, just imagine a situation where the family members are working with patient in the garden with fresh atmosphere, surrounded with green lawns and unpolluted air full of oxygen. Can you imagine? I mean, how much the patient will be feeling relaxed in this condition? So that is the the big advantage of the empowerment. And if we look at the current scenario of the world due to Corona lockdown, we all are arrested in our house almost since past 6 months, and we also don't know when the things will be normal completely. I mean, what else could better justify the importance of the empowerment than the present situation? All the parents who are part of the RVF family not only continued the exercise of their children from home, but they have been reporting amazing progress in patients' recovery, even during the lockdown period. And nothing stopped them to work with their children and bring the positive results. Do you think this would have been possible with any of the contemporary treatment approach? Going back to our transition phase, when we watched videos of the different patients, we could see that they were all these patients were either became independent or they were fast progressing on the path of the independence. So I realized that VASA concept approach is actually the perfect blend of the right direction and the true compassion for the brain injured patients. So finally, we made up our mind and shifted to Nashik to join the Rajul VASA Foundation. We started the VASA concept in June 2018, and within few weeks, we could see one major positive improvement in Ojas. His constipation problem completely gone. And after following, the diet recommended by Dr. Vasa. And I must mention that before starting the VASA concept, not a single doctor talked about right diet. I mean, what should be the right diet for the CP child? I would like to show you one photo when we started the VASA concept. So you can see, the big difference. I mean, this was his glooming face post surgery, and after starting with VASA concept, he is happy, he is smiling and sitting very relaxed. You could easily feel the difference, right? In the following months, we observed that Ojas muscle stiffness also reducing by its own. I mean, his spastic muscles was a big concern for us, and seeing the improvement in that area was a major relief for us. We are really happy that without any medicines and the surgery, his muscle spasticity continuing to reduce on day-to-day basis. His balance on knee stand position also improved a lot. There was a moment when I could not make him stand on his knee even for a minute. But now, with very little support around his waist, he can maintain the balance on his knees for an hour and also do the activities like tearing paper or pushing the gym ball. Previously, Ojas could not straighten his elbow and he could barely do any hand activities. But after starting the VASA concept, there is significant improvement in his hand function. And he can now play a keyboard in Buddha sitting position. Let me show you that video as well. So you can see, I mean, how he is maintaining the balance on in Buddha position, and his hand function also improved. In the last 11 years of our journey, despite doing whatever the doctor told us, we didn't notice any visible positive change. But we can see many positive changes in Ojas after starting VASA concept. VASA concept works at the deepest level of the brain, and the changes happen so smoothly in the background that sometimes you miss to notice it. Child at the RVF center who is at the crawling stage easily come to knee stand position. But behind the scene, it is the result of the brain development through the VASA concept. During the last 2 years, what I experienced that VASA concept is not merely a treatment, but it is actually way of life for the brain injured person. Exercises focused on the self-recovery of the brain, following the right diet, maintaining the right postures throughout the day, engaging the children in the playful activities and keeping them happy, empowerment, all these are the integral part of the VASA concept. And I would like to show how the children are enjoying the different activities at the RVF center. You will understand how the simple activity like spreading the powder on the tiles or tearing paper improve their hand function. So let me just show you another video. Right, so those are the very simple activities with which the children can enjoy at the RVF center, and at the same time their hand function also they improve. I think the essence of VASA concept is treating the CP children as God. Dr. Vasa often tells the parents that ये बच्चे हमारे भगवान है और हमें उनकी पुजारी बन के सेवा करनी है. But our typical society mindset is that we unnecessarily give them different levels. Sometimes we call them as disabled, sometimes we call them as special child, sometimes mentally retarded. And few years back, we found a new label for them, Big Bang. But by doing so, we are accepting them as a dependent children for whole of their life and ignoring their potential, ignoring the possibility of their becoming the independent and lead a normal life. The problem is that we don't look at the things as it is. I mean, these are the normal children only, but unfortunately they got some brain injury, which can be fixed provided we do the right things for them. The children are special, no doubt, but they are special in the sense they are very innocent children and they don't have any sense of ego developed. So that's why they are special. Keeping in mind his long and painful journey of 11 years, we are aware of the fact that making a complete U-turn for Ojas will still take some time. But what is most important for us at this time is we have now got a right direction at least. Earlier, it was like playing the football without any goalpost. And as we continue our journey with VASA concept, we hope to see many improvements in Ojas in the different areas, and he will lead an independent life one day. I'm sure with that. Dr. Vasa always mentioned that it is due to the grace of Goddess Saraswati that she could invent the Vasa concept. I'll only say that may the grace of Goddess Saraswati be always with her and she get every success making all the brain injured patients in the world independent. And in the last, I would say it's a golden opportunity for all the physiotherapists to give serious thought to Vasa concept and take it forward and bring the positive change in the life of millions of brain injured patients worldwide. Thank you. With that, I complete my part. Over to you, Neeraj.
Thank you, Abhijit. Thank you so much. You elaborated the things so well, and it was so convincing for all of us. Thank you so much for this explanation. We wish your child get full recovery very soon. We are very happy to see the results so far, and we are expecting that physiotherapy and Dr. Vasa's guidance will definitely make him absolutely normal one day. Wish you all the very best for that. And friends, as you can see, there are so many loopholes in our traditional treatments which we give to the sick child. So this concept is something extraordinary which brings the positive change in and positive direction to the treatment as far as the CP child management is concerned. So we should definitely look forward to it. And from tomorrow onwards, Dr. Mari is there with us, and she is going to teach us the concept itself. So that will be a wonderful learning process for all of us. Thank you so much, Abhijit, once again for joining. Friends, I would like to inform you once again about the submission of the screenshot procedure, because many of you have joined a little late. So the procedure is that we will share the link after finishing of the entire program. We will give the link in the comment box. Okay, so you can get a link from there, and you can submit from there in the form. As far as yesterday's form is concerned, it is closed. The entry closes by 24 hours. So if you have missed it, it is not possible to re-enter the things now. So friends, I would like to invite the second guest. Abhijit, who is the next one?
Yeah, Nachiket Patwardhan is the second guest.
I don't think he is in studio right now.
Is it? Let me quickly check. Just give me a second. Is Raj Gajjar in the studio? Father of Raj Gajjar?
Yes, yes.
Okay, we'll go with them.
हेलो एवरीबॉडी। सबसे पहले तो मैं डॉक्टर राजू वासा मैम का थैंक यू कहना चाहूंगा। थैंक यू वेरी मच वासा कॉन्सेप्ट के लिए। मैं राज गज्जर का डैडी राजू गज्जर, मेरी मिसेस।
हेलो एवरीवन, गुड इवनिंग। मैं राज गज्जर की मम्मी सेजल गज्जर सूरत से। मैं राज की कुछ हिस्ट्री है पहले की, जो आज तक के ये बातें हैं जो डॉक्टर राजू वासा मैम का बिफोर वासा कॉन्सेप्ट चालू करने से पहले की कुछ बातें हैं जो मैं बताना चाहती हूँ। मेरा जब राज बॉर्न हुआ तब वो रोया नहीं था, लेकिन मेरी डिलीवरी पूरे महीने में हुई थी और फॉरसेप्स से की थी, इसलिए शायद नहीं रोया हुआ होगा। तो राज को तुरंत कांच की पेटी में 1 वीक रखा। फिर स्मार्ट भी था, पूरे तंदुरुस्त भी था, फिर हमारे पास आ गया। धीरे धीरे राज 1 साल का हुआ, 2 साल का हुआ, फिर भी वो चल नहीं पाया। तो हमको ऐसा लगा कि कोई बच्चा लेट भी चलता है तो शायद वो लेट चलेगा, हमको ऐसा लगा। फिर और आगे दिन बढ़ते गए। एकदम अचानक से उसको एक बार फिट आई, तो जब राज 2-2.5 साल का होगा तो हमने फैमिली डॉक्टर को दिखाया, तो डॉक्टर ने बोला आपके बच्चे को फिट आई है तो उसके लिए मैं वाल परिन सजेस्ट करता हूँ। तो हमने वाल परिन चालू किया और बोला कि आपका बच्चा तो सीपी है। हमने पूछा कि सर ये सीपी क्या होता है, क्योंकि सीपी का मतलब हम नहीं जानते, प्लीज सर आप हमको बताओ। तो हम तो टेंशन में आ गए, क्योंकि तो फिर डॉक्टर ने बोला कि सीपी का मतलब सेरिब्रल पॉल्सी, आपका बच्चा स्पेशल चाइल्ड है। तो हमको तो बहुत टेंशन लगा, क्योंकि हमारी फैमिली में एक भी बच्चा ऐसा नहीं था, इसलिए हमको बहुत टेंशन होने लगा कि हम क्या करें। तो डॉक्टर ने बोला कि आप कुछ मत करो, अभी ये फिट के लिए वाल परिन चालू रखो और फिजियो चालू कराओ। तो हमने फिजियो चालू किया। फिजियो में पहले तो स्प्लीन बनवाने को बोला, तो स्प्लीन बनवाया। स्प्लीन पहनवा के राज को खड़ा करते थे, एक्सरसाइज खींच तान के भी बच्चा जितना भी रोए फिर भी एक्सरसाइज तो चालू वो लोग करके ही राज को छोड़ते थे। तो फिर राज रोता भी ज्यादा रहता था। फिर फिजियो में से हमको पूछा कि राज को फिट आई थी, तो हमने बोला कि हाँ राज को फिट आई है। तो उसके लिए बोला कि आप बॉम्बे में डॉक्टर को, न्यूरोलॉजिस्ट को दिखाओ। तो हमने बॉम्बे में डॉक्टर न्यूरोलॉजिस्ट जो एक्सपर्ट है उसको दिखाया। तो हमने बोला, डॉक्टर ने पूछा कि राज की फिट के लिए तो ये वाल परिन सिर्फ ठीक है, लेकिन आपके बच्चे में डिस्टोनिया भी काफी हद तक है, तो उसके लिए मैं आपको एक पैसेटिन सजेस्ट करता हूँ, वो आप राज की चालू रखो। डॉक्टर का भी न्यूरोलॉजिस्ट का रूटीन चेकअप चालू ही था। तो पैसेटिन का भी डोज बढ़ाने को बोला, वो भी हम बढ़ाते गए। फिर बोला कि पैसेटिन से कंट्रोल नहीं होता है, अभी एक मेडिसिन ऐड की, वो रिवोथ्रिल थी। उसका भी जैसे पैसेटिन का डोज बढ़ाने को बोला, वैसे ही हमने रिवोथ्रिल का भी डोज बढ़ाते गए। जैसे दिन में 2 पैसेटिन, दिन में 3 बार, 2 रिवोथ्रिल दिन में 3 बार, ऐसे करके राज की कितनी ये मेडिसिन राज लेता था। जब ये राज मेडिसिन उसकी चालू थी तो उसमें इतना गुस्सा, चिड़चिड़ापन, जिद्दी, जो उसको चीज चाहिए वो बस उसको तुरंत हमको लाके देना ही पड़ता था, वरना हमको बहुत परेशान करता था। फिर
उसके बाद फिजियो में ये जो टाइटनेस का ये नहीं हुआ, तो उन्होंने बोला कि भाई आप मुंबई में एक्सपर्ट डॉक्टर है, आप ऑर्थोपेडिक को दिखाओ, चाइल्ड ऑर्थोपेडिक के बोले आप उनको दिखाइए। तो हम उनको दिखाया, उन्होंने देखा, फिर बताया कि भाई आपका बच्चे को ये जो डिस्टोनिया है, टाइटनेस है, उसके लिए बोले आपका राइट हैंड और राइट पैर उसमें बहुत ज्यादा टाइटनेस है, उसमें आप बॉटॉक्स लगाओ, तो उससे क्या आपका बच्चे में थोड़े रिकवरी आएगी। और उन्होंने बताया कि बॉटॉक्स का असर 6 मंथ तक रहता है, तो आपको दिन में 2 बार फिजियो करवाना पड़ेगा आपको, उस हिसाब से हमको उन्होंने बताया। तो हमने सोचा क्या करें अभी, तो उस समय उसका है ना थोड़ा पेल्विस का भी थोड़ा प्रॉब्लम था, थोड़ा बॉल बाहर से था। तो बोले वो अगर वो ये आप कराएंगे, बॉटॉक्स करवाएंगे और उसके साथ एक्सरसाइज कराएंगे, कसरत कराएंगे, तो हो सकता है उससे वो काबू में आ जाएगा। तो हमने फिर बॉटॉक्स राइट हैंड और राइट लेग में दोनों में करवाया, खर्चा भी काफी हुआ हमें, लेकिन उसका कोई बेनिफिट नहीं, 0% बेनिफिट, हमें कोई फायदा ही नहीं हुआ। उसमें दो बार हम फिजियो करवाते थे और सब कुछ ऐसा हमारा मानो वेस्ट गया। वो
बॉटॉक्स का इसलिए बोला क्योंकि न्यूरोलॉजिस्ट के पास जो ट्रीटमेंट चालू था ना, वो सब हमने ऑर्थोपेडिक डॉक्टर को बताया। तो बोला कि अभी आपका बच्चा बड़ा हो गया है, तो ये मेडिसिन से तो अभी मेडिसिन इसको इतनी असर नहीं करती डिस्टोनिया के लिए, तो मेडिसिन भी चालू रखो, साथ में मैं बॉटॉक्स का सजेस्ट करता हूँ। इसलिए हमने बॉटॉक्स भी लगवाया, उसके साथ मेडिसिन भी चालू थी, फिर भी 0% रिजल्ट, कुछ भी हमको फर्क नहीं लगा। तो फिर हम क्या करें, कुछ समझ में नहीं आ रहा था। फिर डॉक्टर का भी, सर्जन के पास भी राज का रूटीन चेकअप चालू था। तो फिर बोला अभी आपका राज बच्चा बड़ा हो रहा है, अब ये बॉटॉक्स भी राज को कुछ असर नहीं करेगा। तो मेरा मानना है कि आप अपने बच्चे का जो पेल्विस क्रॉस और बॉल बार है, उसके लिए मैं सजेस्ट करता हूँ कि आप ऑपरेशन करो। तो हम तैयार हो गए, क्या करें, हम बच्चे के लिए कुछ भी करने के लिए तैयार थे। तो बोला कि हमने पूछा कि इसका खर्चा क्या होगा, तो उसका खर्चा भी बोला कि 12 से 15 लाख का होगा। तो चलो खर्चे की तो कुछ बात नहीं है, लेकिन बच्चा कैसे हमारा सह पाता है ऑपरेशन, ये सोच के हमको बहुत चिंता हो रही थी। फिर भी हम ऑपरेशन के लिए तैयार हो गए। डॉक्टर को हमने पूछा कि ये ऑपरेशन हम करवाते हैं तो राज का कुछ गारंटी, तो बोला गारंटी तो कुछ नहीं देते हैं हम, लेकिन फायदा होगा ये मैं जरूर बोलता हूँ। तो फिर हम तैयार हो गए।
और जब ऑपरेशन का उन्होंने बताया, उससे पहले हमने राज का बोन मेरो स्टेम सील भी करवाया मुंबई में एक्सपर्ट डॉक्टर्स के पास वहां पर, लेकिन उससे भी हमें कोई ज्यादा फायदा नहीं हुआ, 0%। यानी जो हमको मिलना चाहिए कि भाई, क्योंकि बच्चा हमारा है, हमें कोई भी कुछ भी बताता है ये करिए वो करिए तो हम तुरंत रेडी हो जाते कि चलो भाई हम कुछ ना कुछ बच्चे के लिए करें। तो फिर उन्होंने, उससे भी फायदा नहीं हुआ। उसके बाद ये ऑर्थोपेडिक ने ऑपरेशन का बताया, तो अभी कुछ दूसरा कुछ हमारे पास रास्ता नहीं था कि चलो भाई ऑपरेशन से कुछ हो सकता है, मेरा लड़का चलने लगेगा, कुछ बेनिफिट्स होगा, क्योंकि उसका जो बॉल और जो पेल्विस क्रॉस हो रहा था, तो जब वो लोग फिजियो में जो करवाते थे तो उसको खड़ा रखते थे और बच्चा क्रॉस होता था, तो उसको पूरा वजन उसके पे आता था, पैरों पे, और उसका तो वो कुछ समझ में नहीं आ रहा था ये क्या हो रहा है, फिजियो से हुआ ये बॉल पेल्विस का, ये क्या प्रॉब्लम हो रहा, उस समय भी हमें समझ में नहीं आ रहा था। फिर हमने लास्ट में सोचा कि चलो ऑपरेशन करवा लेते हैं, तो हमने वहां 1 मार्च का हमें ऑपरेशन का डेट मिला डॉक्टर के पास, एक्सपर्ट ऑर्थोपेडिक के पास। तो मैं चलो भाई 1 मार्च का आपने करवाए, 2018 1 मार्च का, 2018 1 मार्च का हमें डेट मिला। फिर हम सोच रहे थे क्या करें, उतने में ही हमें हमारा एक फ्रेंड्स है, उन्होंने हमें वासा कॉन्सेप्ट के बारे में बताया कि बोले आप ये कॉन्सेप्ट के बारे में थोड़ा जानिए और बहुत ही उसका ज्यादा बेनिफिट होगा।
हाँ, फिर किसी ने हमको कहा कि आपने इतना कुछ किया है तो एक बार वासा कॉन्सेप्ट राज को कराओ, जरूर फायदा होगा। तो हमने गूगल में भी सर्च किया तो काफी अच्छा कॉन्सेप्ट है ये कॉन्सेप्ट। तो बॉम्बे, पुणे, नासिक और इंडिया के बाहर भी है। तो हमने राज को वासा कॉन्सेप्ट ज्वाइन किया, उससे राज को क्या क्या बेनिफिट हुआ आज वो मैं बताना चाहती हूँ, बी फॉर वासा कॉन्सेप्ट।
लेकिन जब वासा कॉन्सेप्ट ज्वाइन किया ना, जो फ्रेंड्स ने मेरे बताया कि आप ये कॉन्सेप्ट के अंदर, तो उसके बाद हमें 1 मार्च को तो हमारा ऑपरेशन था, और 18 मार्च 2018 और 1 मार्च 2018 को ऑपरेशन। तो वासा कॉन्सेप्ट से फिर हमें मैसेज मिला वासा मैम का कि भाई ऑपरेशन तो उसका नहीं करवाना है, ये बच्चा बिगर ऑपरेशन ही आपका सही होगा। और दूसरी उन्होंने सजेस्ट किया कि वो बच्चा कुछ टैबलेट लेता है, तो हमने बताया हाँ, दिन में कम से कम 10-12 टैबलेट वो जाती थी उसके पे, बोले टैबलेट पूरी बंद करनी पड़ेगी। तो हम तो डर गए कि मैडम तो टैबलेट पूरा बंद करने के लिए बोल रहे हैं, और इनको तो इतना डिस्टोनिया, इतना टाइटनेस है, उसका राइट हैंड तो ऐसा सोचो मुड़ के रखता था। वो जो स्लाइड 2 है उसका फोटो जरा पार्ट दिखाना, मिस्टर पार्ट, डॉक्टर पार्ट, तो वो ऐसा राइट हैंड मुड़ के ही रखता था वो, है ना, उतना इतना टाइटनेस है। और मैडम ने बताया कि आप ये बंद कर दो, टैबलेट्स बंद कर दो। फिर हमने सोचा कि हमने इतना सारा कुछ किया है, ये सब किया है, तो चलो एक बार वो भी करके देख लेते हैं। तो हमने टैबलेट भी बंद कर दी। उसके बाद मैडम ने हमें, वासा मैम ने हमें बताया कि आप उसका बॉन्ड डेंसिटी चेक करवाओ। तो बॉन्ड डेंसिटी हमने चेक करवाई, तो बॉन्ड डेंसिटी उसकी इतनी कम आई कि आप उसका रिपोर्ट बहुत ही खराब आया। उसके बॉन्ड में कोई ताकत ही नहीं थी, कोई आप देखो ना तो कुछ ये नहीं था, थोड़ा भी कुछ करता तो वो थक जाता, वो इतना हाथों में भी वो जो पूरा वजन उसका हाथों पे नहीं ले सकता था, वो इतना उसका बॉन्ड डेंसिटी कम था। तो हमने वो चीज कराया। उसके बाद हम फिजियो टोटली बंद करके आफ्टर वासा कॉन्सेप्ट ज्वाइन कर लिया, और वासा कॉन्सेप्ट में राज का एक्सरसाइज शुरू किया हमने। तो धीरे धीरे हमने 2 महीना, 3 महीना, 4 महीना, तो धीरे धीरे थोड़ा थोड़ा हमें चेंज लगने लगा। और जो टैबलेट्स पूरी बंद कर दी थी हमने, तो उसका हमें इतना बेनिफिट दिखने लगा कि जो टैबलेट चालू थी वो सोता रहता था, वो उसमें चिड़चिड़ापन था काफी था, तो वो धीरे धीरे उसका कम होने लगा। तो जैसे जैसे दिन गुजरने लगे, हम एक्सरसाइज में राज पहले 2 घंटा करता था, 3 घंटा, 4 घंटा, 6, आज की तारीख में राज 6 घंटा एक्सरसाइज करता है, और वो खुशी से करता है। उसको काफी एक्सरसाइज जो ऐसी है जो पहले हमें करवानी पड़ती थी, लेकिन आज की तारीख में काफी एक्सरसाइज राज खुद करता है और खुशी से करता है। वो बहुत बड़ी बात है हमारे लिए। और धीरे धीरे जो बड़ा होता गया, तो एक दिन की मैं आपका मेरा एक्सपीरियंस शेयर करूंगा कि राज सुबह में हम लोग बेडरूम में सोए हुए थे, उसको टॉयलेट लगी थी, तो वो टॉयलेट गया, टॉयलेट करके वापस आके सो गया। पहले वो कभी खुद नहीं जाता था टॉयलेट, हमें लेके जाना पड़ता था, हमको उसको टब पे बिठाना पड़ता था, सब कुछ हमें करना पड़ता था। तो उस दिन वो टॉयलेट जाके आके वापस सोने लगा, तो हम उठे, हमको राज कहाँ गया था बेटा, क्या हुआ? कि पापा मुझे बहुत टॉयलेट लगी थी, मैं टॉयलेट करके आया। मैंने बोला क्या बात कर रहा है? बोले ऐसा तू कैसे गया बेटा? मैंने बोला तू चल मेरे को बता बेटा, तू गिर जाता तो, तेरे को लग जाता तो, क्योंकि वो चल नहीं पा रहा था, वो खाली क्रॉलिंग करता था और ऐसा। तो मैंने बोला तू कैसे बता, कम से कम वासा कॉन्सेप्ट ज्वाइन किया हमने 1.5 साल के बाद, ये हमको ये गुड न्यूज मिला हमारे लिए। तो उसने हमें बताया, बाथरूम में गया, सामने बेसिंग था, तो उसने बेसिंग पकड़ के अपने टॉयलेट के ऊपर वो बैठा, कपड़े जो उसने पहने थे वो निकाले, फिर वापस टॉयलेट करके उसने कपड़े पहने और वापस वो आके बेड पे सो गया। बोले मैं, तो ये दिन हमारे लिए इतनी खुशी का दिन था, क्योंकि राज का पहला इंडिपेंडेंस जो उन्होंने इंडिपेंडेंट काम किया था राज ने, तो हमारा खुशी का ठिकाना नहीं था कि चलो इसमें हमको इतना फायदा हो रहा है। ये चीज बहुत ही बढ़िया ये हुआ हमारे लिए, ये एक्सपीरियंस मैं आपको बताता हूँ।
अच्छा हुआ मैम, आपने राज की मेडिसिन बंद करके राज को बचा लिया, वरना आगे जाके राज की क्या हालत होती ये हमको नहीं पता। तो ये सारा वरना तो ये सारा श्रेय हम मैम आपको देते हैं, वासा कॉन्सेप्ट को देते हैं कि आपने ऑपरेशन से भी हमको बचा लिया। ये आपको बहुत बहुत बड़ा थैंक यू मैम आपको हमारी तरफ से। और मैम बोलते हैं ना कि भगवान खुद नीचे नहीं आता है, वो किसी ना किसी इंसान को किसी ना किसी रूप में भेजते हैं। वो फरिश्ता मैम आप हो। हमारे चलो पहले का जो समय था वो तो सारा निकल गया, जो बेनिफिट हमको 16-17 सालों में नहीं मिला
वो हमें 2.5 साल में
हमको 2.5 साल में ही मिलने लगा मैम। तो ये हमारे लिए मिरेकल था, एक जादू था कि ये चलो ये कॉन्सेप्ट से तो मेरा बच्चा 100% ये चलने ही लगेगा। हमको पक्का यकीन है वासा कॉन्सेप्ट पे।
और जब राज का जो वासा कॉन्सेप्ट 1.5 साल 2 साल 2.5 साल, हमको आज वासा कॉन्सेप्ट ज्वाइंट हुए 2.5 साल हो गया है, तो उसको जो डिफरेंट है, जो उसका राइट हैंड सेकंड स्लाइड जो राइट हैंड मोड़ के रखा था, आज वो देखिए ये आफ्टर वासा कॉन्सेप्ट उसकी बॉडी स्ट्रांग हो रही है, मसल्स उसके बन रहे हैं। और मैं एक बात बताना चाहता हूं कि वासा कॉन्सेप्ट का ये जो डॉक्टर राजुल वासा मैम का जो मैसेज था हमारे लिए कि आपको बच्चे को चलाना नहीं है, अभी नहीं चलाना है, जब तक बच्चे के मसल स्ट्रांग ना हो, बच्चे का बॉन्ड स्ट्रांग ना हो। आज बॉन्ड डेंसिटी राज की इतनी अच्छी हो गई है और उसके मसल्स भी बनने लगे पैरों के, बोले वो सब बन जाए उसके बाद उनको चलाने का अपने को ट्राई करना है। तो उसके लिए उसको जो भी उसको नेगेटिव कुछ होने वाला वो नहीं होवे, क्योंकि उसका बॉन्ड मजबूत हो जाए, सब हो जाए, तो उससे ज्यादा बेनिफिट हो जाता है। आज की तारीख में मैं आपको बताऊं तो राज का जो बैलेंसिंग है वो ड्राइंग भी इतना बढ़िया करता है। राज का ड्राइंग वाला स्लाइड दिया है, वीडियो दिखाइए प्लीज। तो वो बहुत अच्छा ड्राइंग में उसका जो लेफ्ट हैंड का जो उसका बैलेंस है वो भी काफी अच्छा हो रहा है उसका, राज का। ये देखिए, उसको पहले ड्राइंग करता था लेकिन कैसे एकदम परफेक्ट में नहीं आता था ड्राइंग, कि उसके बाहर निकल जाता था। लेकिन आज जो ड्राइंग करता है उसको बैलेंस अच्छा आ रहा है, यानी काफी बैलेंसिंग करके वो कर रहा है राज, इंटरेस्ट लेके कर रहा है वो, ऐसा।
ये सारा ये जो भी बेनिफिट मिला है हमारे बच्चे को, वो वासा कॉन्सेप्ट की वजह से मिला है, क्योंकि आप एक साइंटिस्ट हो मैम, आपकी स्थान आज इतनी ऊंची जगह पे है, फिर भी आप किसी के पास फीस नहीं लेते हो, ये बहुत ही बड़ी बात है। ये काम बहुत कम लोग करते हैं। ये
कभी भी आप कहीं भी चले जाइए, मुंबई में अगर एक्सपर्ट डॉक्टर को मिलना है तो सीधा 4-5 हजार रुपए उसकी फीस रहती है। मैम आज इतना टाइम आप दे रहे हो बच्चे के लिए, तो ये एक सच में बोल रहे हैं तो गॉड गिफ्ट है ये आप जो कर रहे हो, और बहुत ही
ये आप सेवा का एक काम कर रहे हो और चैरिटी कर रहे हो, ये बहुत लोग कम करते हैं। इसलिए मैम आज आप जो जगह पे हो वहां से भी और आगे जाओगे, क्योंकि आप ग्रेट हो, एक फरिश्ता हो, एक महान हस्ती हो, यू आर जीनियस। आपके कॉन्सेप्ट में ही मिरेकल है, इसीलिए हमें पक्का यकीन है वासा कॉन्सेप्ट से मेरा राज एक ना एक दिन जरूर अपने पैरों के ऊपर खड़ा रहेगा। ये बात राज भी जान लगा है, इसीलिए रोज 6 से 7 घंटे राज मेहनत करता है कि यही कॉन्सेप्ट से मैं एक दिन अपने पैरों के ऊपर खड़ा रहूंगा। हाँ,
और एक चीज मैं आप बताना चाहूंगा कि हमको हमारा बैड लक नहीं है कि हमारा लक ये है कि हमें वासा कॉन्सेप्ट 18 साल के बाद मिला, क्योंकि राज 18 साल का हो गया तो उसके बाद वासा कॉन्सेप्ट मिला। अगर हमें वो कॉन्सेप्ट जल्द मिल जाता, मान लो राज छोटा होता 2-3 साल 4 साल का, तब मिल जाता, तो मैं गारंटी के साथ बोलता हूं आज राज हमारा चलने लग जाता, दौड़ने लग जाता। क्योंकि जितने छोटे बच्चे उसका माइंड, क्योंकि उस समय टैबलेट बंद कर दी उसके माइंड के अंदर, क्योंकि हमने वासा कॉन्सेप्ट में रिजल्ट देखे, जितने छोटे बच्चे 1 साल 2 साल के 3 साल के 5 साल के, तो उसके ऊपर जो एक्सरसाइज वासा कॉन्सेप्ट का जो कसरत होती है तो उसमें इतना ज्यादा बेनिफिट होता है। क्योंकि हमने देखा है यही कॉन्सेप्ट में, नजरों से देखा हुआ कि जो एक लड़की थी छोटी थी, आई थिंक 2-3 साल की, तो वो बैठ नहीं सकती थी, तो वासा कॉन्सेप्ट में थोड़े ही समय में वो बैठने लग गई, अपने आप बैठने लग गई, वरना पहले बिठाते थे तो वो गिर जाती थी। यानी काफी वो देखे, बड़े भी जो स्ट्रोक वाले पेशेंट को भी हम देखे हुए हैं इसके अंदर कि जो उनको चलने में प्रॉब्लम हो रही थी, तकलीफ हो रही थी, तो वो उनको भी काफी बेनिफिट मिला। और सीपी चाइल्ड में मैं बोलता हूं, अगर कोई, मैं न्यू पेरेंट से थोड़ा बात करना चाहूंगा कि अगर कोई है जिसके बच्चे को अगर कोई प्रॉब्लम है, सीपी चाइल्ड है और वो छोटा है, तो प्लीज आप पहले से जो इसके पीछे आप मेहनत करोगे तो मैं 100% बोलता हूं लड़का इंडिपेंडेंट बहुत जल्द हो जाएगा। क्योंकि छोटा बच्चा होता है उसका माइंड डेवलपिंग ज्यादा होता है। राज का 18 साल के बाद मिला हमें, तो भी आज उसमें इतनी रिकवरी आई है। अगर छोटे बच्चे लोग में जो अगर वो जल्दी से वो जो एक एक्सरसाइज करते हैं तो रिकवरी बहुत ही जल्द आ जाती है उसमें, और अच्छी रिकवरी आती है मैम।
चलो देर से ही सही, लेकिन आप मिल तो गए मैम, यही हमारे लिए खुशी की बात है। तो हमारा कहना ये है कि द वर्ल्ड बेस्ट कॉन्सेप्ट इज वासा कॉन्सेप्ट। तो थैंक यू वेरी मच डॉक्टर वासा मैम।
थैंक यू डॉक्टर राजुल वासा मैम।
आपकी वासा कॉन्सेप्ट से हमारे राज्य में बहुत फर्क आया है और आगे जा हमको पक्का यकीन है ये कॉन्सेप्ट से हमारा बच्चा 100% एक न एक दिन अपने पैरों के ऊपर खड़ा रहेगा। क्योंकि हमको हम पहले ना वर्तमान तो भूल गए थे, भविष्य की चिंता राज की हमको थी, लेकिन जब से मैम आप हमको मिले हो तब से हम वर्तमान में जीने लगे। भविष्य तो राज का आप हो, इसलिए हमको कुछ चिंता नहीं है, अभी वर्तमान में हम जीते हैं। इसलिए थैंक यू वेरी मच ऑल टीम वासा मैम। थैंक यू मैम।
ये राज का क्लैप्स का जो वीडियो है, ये पूरा राइट हैंड मोड़ के रखता था, ये क्लैप्स का वीडियो बहुत ही अच्छा आपका वासा कॉन्सेप्ट।
ये बहुत बड़ी बात है, ये पूरा तेरा ऐसा रखता था, अभी ये क्लैप भी करने लगा है। राज क्लैप करो थोड़ा, राज थोड़ा दिखाएगा क्लैप करके। राज इधर नजीक
जो
और स्पीच भी उसकी अच्छी आने लगी है पहले से। पहले पूरा मुंह क्रॉस करके बोलता था अभी। और ड्राइंग, राज को ड्राइंग का तो आपने देखा ना, ड्राइंग भी अच्छा करता है राज।
थैंक यू सर।
थैंक यू
वेरी मच। थैंक यू राज एंड विश यू ऑल द बेस्ट। और भगवान का आप एकदम ठीक हो जाओ और हम आपको खेलता कूदता एकदम अच्छी तरह देखे। थैंक यू वेरी मच सेजल जी और राजू जी, आप दोनों को थैंक यू वेरी मच सर। दोस्तों, एक बात मैं आप सबको कहना चाहता हूँ और हिंदी में ही कहना चाहता हूँ कि थेरेपिस्ट होना अपने आप में बहुत सफिशिएंट बात है। ऐसा नहीं है कि फिजियोथेरेपिस्ट है तो आपको किसी और प्रोफेशनल डॉक्टर्स के अंडर में ही काम करना चाहिए, कि वही सुपीरियर है और उनको ही ब्लाइंडली फॉलो करना चाहिए। नहीं, आप फिजियोथेरेपिस्ट हो और आप एक प्रोफेशनल हो। आप अपना ब्रेन लगा के आपको जो ठीक लगे आपके पेशेंट के लिए जो बेस्ट हो वही करना चाहिए, और वही आपको आगे ले जाएगा और आपके पेशेंट को ठीक करने में मदद करेगा। तो ये बात बहुत ध्यान में रखने जैसी है कि किसी के भी अंडर में वर्क करने की ज़रूरत नहीं है कि सर्जन का है तो वही ठीक है, बोटॉक्स देना है तो वही ठीक है। ऐसा नहीं होता है। आप भी प्रोफेशनल हो और आप भी डिसीजन ले सकते हो और आपको ही लेना चाहिए, क्योंकि मेजर पार्ट जो सीपी चाइल्ड या एडल्ट न्यूरोलॉजिकल रिहेबिलिटेशन का पोर्शन है, उसमें सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट पार्ट जो होता है वो एक थेरेपिस्ट का ही होता है, ना कि और कोई स्पेशलिटी का। हाँ, इमरजेंसी के टाइम पे ठीक है कि उस टाइम पे मेडिकल मैनेजमेंट हो जाए, बट बाद में हमारा ही रोल सबसे ज्यादा होता है। तो हम सबको ये बात का गौरव भी होना चाहिए और ये बात हमेशा ध्यान में रखनी चाहिए कि हम एक लीड ले और हम ही डिसीजन मेकर हो रादर देन एनीबडी एल्स। थैंक यू सो मच। थैंक्स। या अभिजीत, प्लीज।
Yeah, before Nachiket's father share his journey, I would like to show one video of 3-year-old CP child. Parth, can you please open Sharva's video, Sharva Gaikwad? Can you increase the volume? No, I can see blank screen. Did you open it from the common folder? Please try again. Arpat, let me try from my local folder. Just give me a second.
Friends, I request you that tomorrow and day after tomorrow, a session is from Mari from Finland, who is VASA concept expert, and she is an international VASA concept coordinator. So please attend and tell your friends also to attend that. That will be a wonderful learning process for all of us as a physio. Thank you so much. Yes, Abhijit.
Okay, so this is a short video of a 3-year-old cerebral palsy child. His name is Sharva Gaikwad. So you can see before the VASA concept, he was so floppy. Can you just take it back, Parth, for a second, then pause there? Yeah, next. Yeah. So you all can see that how his condition was before the VASA concept. And now he's coming to Cobra position so nicely. His neck control also improved significantly with the VASA concept. See, his trunk balance was very poor before VASA concept. You can see his head is falling down. And with the VASA concept, during the journey with VASA concept, you can see him sitting so nicely in Buddha position, also playing with his mother. Playing tabla. Now he comes to crawling position. So that's the beauty of VASA concept. I would like to quickly share one thing about the same child, Sharva Gaikwad. So at Rajul VASA Foundation Center, after all the exercises are done, we have the fun and activity session for kids. And we play some music and videos so that they can enjoy. One day after we played videos, so this child helped me unplugging the different cables and put them in bag. I was so surprised to see his maturity, at his age. And this child has shown significant improvements post VASA concept, but the same child was labeled as a mentally retarded when the parents consulted before joining the one doctor before joining the VASA concept. So we can understand, we know, how it is, how it is wrong to label these children as a mental retarded or the special when they have so much, the potential in them. So I just wanted to, mention that. So after this, we will start with Nachiket's journey. Nachiket? Yeah.
Hi. Yes. Yes. Hi. I am Nachiket's mother. Nachiket was born on 17 October 2003. He was a premature baby. He was born 5 weeks before actual delivery date. After 3 days of birth, he got jaundice, and within 2 days, bilirubin level reached up to 39. This severe jaundice was very dangerous for him, so he was shifted to NICU. As a treatment, blood transmission and phototherapy were going on. He was in NICU for 17 days. After performing all the required tests, doctor told us that jaundice has affected his brain. 95% of his brain damaged due to formation of excess water. His chances of surviving are very low. If he would survive, he will not be a normal child. He will not be able to see and hear. He will not be able to walk and talk in his life. And also he will become mentally retarded. Each and every word of doctor was bombshell for us. We were just shocked. We were just not at all prepared for all this. For a family, baby's birth is the happiest moment. But in our case, it was totally opposite moment. When he was 3 months old, doctor conducted all the tests again and told the same thing. But at this stage, the only good thing for us was that he was able to see and hear. But again, there was a problem that size of his head was increasing day by day. He was not able to open his eyes completely. Also got squint in his eye. He was just sleeping on the right side and was not able to do any body movement. Most of time he had various infections like cold, cough, fever, and chronic bronchitis. He had to be hospitalized many more times. To avoid conversions, Gardinal was the routine medicine for him. And for all types of infections, various antibiotics were also routine medicine for him. When he was 7 months old, we started physiotherapy in our small town. At the time, Nachiket's right leg used to take seizure position. It was difficult for him to bend the legs at knee. His head circumference was 23 inches and head was very soft and spongy. His eyesight was not stable. We were just trying each and every possible treatment for him. After completing 1 year, there were no sign of improvement in his condition. Our child slept all time on his bed like a vegetable. After this, we were frustrated and depressed. We were losing our hopes and gone very far away from society. Please, first slide, please. Please, first slide, please. Next. This was the condition. The squint in his eyes. Let's see clear. Okay. When Nachiket was 1 year and 5 months old, we got to know about Dr. Rajul Vasa. I must say, this was a big turning point in our life. We completed all procedures for joining VASA concept. In our first session, Dr. saw Nachiket and said, he is not mentally retarded. Stop all his medicines and don't try to bring him in standing position. Dr. Vasa gave us 4 types of ball exercise and gave all instructions about reaction that should be given by Nachiket. She told us that his fingers must open in 8 to 10 days. This was very new for us. She was ready with plan of action for Nachiket. After joining VASA concept, our helpless journey from one doctor to another was stopped. We stopped all medicines and physiotherapy of other doctors, which saved both our time and money. We concentrated on Nachiket's exercise. We were taking his exercise 7 to 8 hours per day. We stopped all his medicines. Hello. 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 Hello.
Please continue your session.
Hello.
हाँ सुनाई दे रहा है, आप बोलिए.
नहीं कुछ सुन नहीं दे रहा है.
आपकी आवाज आ रही है, आप बोलिए.
मेरी आवाज आ रही है आपको?
Yes, yes.
हाँ नहीं, यहाँ बारिश शुरू हो गई है.
हाँ थोड़ा जोर से बोलिए आप. आप कंटिन्यू करिए, बोलिए प्लीज.
कंटिन्यू करो.
हाँ जी.
When he was 3 months old, doctor conducted all the tests again and told the same things. But at this stage, the only good things for us was that he was able to see and hear. But again, there was problem that size of his head was increasing day by day. He was not able to open his eye completely. Also got squint in his eyes. He was just sleeping on the right side and was not able to do any body movement. Most of time he had various infections like cold, cough, fever and chronic bronchitis. He had to be hospitalized many more times. To avoid convergence, Cardinal was routine medicine and for all types of infections, various antibiotics were also routine medicine for him. When he was 7 months old, we started physiotherapy in our town. At that time, Nachiket's right leg used to take seizure position. It was difficult for him to bend the legs at knee. His head circumference was 23 inches and head was very soft and spongy. His eyesight was not stable. We were just trying each and every possible treatment for him. After completing 1 year, there were no sign of improvement in his condition. Our child slept all time on his bed like a vegetable. After this, We were frustrated and depressed. We were losing our hope and gone very far away from our society. When Nachiket was 1 year and 5 months, we got to know about Dr. Raju Vasa. I must say, this was a big turning point in our life. We completed all procedures for joining Vasa concept. In our first session, Dr. Vasa saw Nachiket and said, he is not mentally retarded. Stop all this medicine and don't try to bring him in standing position. Dr. Vasa gave us 4 types of ball exercise and gave all instructions about reaction that should be given by Nachiket. She told us that his fingers must open in 8 to 10 days. This was new for us. She was ready with plan of action for Nachiket. After joining Vasa concept, our helpless journey from one doctor to another was stopped. We stopped all medicines and physiotherapy of another doctor, which saved both our time and money. We concentrate on Nachiket exercise. We were taking his exercise 7 to 8 hours per day. We stopped all his medicine and physiotherapy. So our earlier doctor used to say, how you can stop all his medicine? Don't you understand importance of those medicine? How you can do physiotherapy at home? That should be done by professional physiotherapist. It was harmful to your child. Those doctors were unaware about Dr. Vasa and Vasa concept. Nachiket was improving day by day. After 3-4 months, there was an observable difference in Nachiket's health. Drowsiness on face vanished. There were no frequent illness now. Now he started recognizing us. He started understanding what we are talking. His fingers opened and was able to grab the things. Vasaman gave us a new task that Nachiket should sit properly for at least half an hour. I would to say this was a very difficult task for us because at that time Nachiket was unable to sit for 2 seconds. We were frustrated, but we never stopped his exercise. Nachiket took 10 days to sit 1 minute. When he sit for 1 minute, ma'am says, if he can sit for 1 minute, then he will sit for 1 hour. We were not sure that Nachiket will sit for an hour. But after 2.5 months, we completed the task. That was like an accomplishment for us. Now Nachiket was able to sit for half an hour. When Nachiket sat for 1 hour, we understood one thing, that if ma'am says you will get these results, then we will definitely get those results. Our attitude changed as we got a ray of hope, which was Vasa concept. When we went to Mumbai for checkup, ma'am appreciated us and gave another task, that now he should sit properly on his own. While doing some exercise, clean water came out of from his nose and from his ears and eyes also. Sometimes he got diarrhea and vomiting also. We were frightened to look at all this, but man said that you should celebrate the things which are happening. All this comes out from brain, and don't go to doctor and don't give medicine to stop all this. One visit to Mumbai for checkup always give us energy and positivity. There in workshop, we came in contact with many children and their parents. spasticity in some of children were having spasticity in hands and legs. Some were having problem with spine. Some were having legs in scissor position. Even spending lakhs of rupees for treatment like Botox or stem cell, there was no sign of improvement in their condition. Only waste of time and money. We have witnessed their difficult journey. At that time, the thought that came in my mind was Nachiket was also having same problem. He was also having squint in his eye. But now nothing was there. He was also having spasticity in his legs and a problem of spine. Hydrocephalus head was his major problem. I want to note here that we have not done any surgery of Nachiket. Excess water in his brain was vanished within some years without any operation. Head circumference reduced from 23 inches to 18 inches. There were no contracture anywhere in his body. All this happened only because of VASA concept. Next slide, please. Next. And another next. Yes. So this is Nachiket is want to see I am the winner. Once we attended a free checkup camp which was held in our city. There were 200 to 300 such children. The specialist doctor was telling some operation to almost everyone there. But for Nachiket, he said, there is no any contracture. Then we will go for his deep brain surgery. He gave address of his private hospital in Mumbai. There is no need to tell that we have not gone for that surgery. We must say we are very lucky that we got right treatment at right time. That is VASA concept. We were not trapped in endless circles of any other treatment. For us, there was no need of physiotherapist, occupational therapist, speech therapist, and even dietitian. We have not spent any 1 rupee for Nachiket's treatment. Dr. Vasa ma'am told us things by making them simple that a common people like us understood very well. Vasa ma'am taught us how to use gravitational force for exercise. Dr. Vasa is a guide, supporter, and psychiatrist for us. In many cases of such special child, his mother thinks that this all happened because of me. All the time, this is suggested by society also, which makes her feel guilty. But in case of Vasa ma'am, when she gets expected results from child, she always motivates and prizes mother. Every mother gets motivated and gain her self-confidence. Even if 95% of his brain is damaged, but because of Vasa concept, the remaining 5% of his brain is developed. Please play video. Please, video, please. See, this Nachiket is doing cycling. In this, Nachiket is playing with toy train. and can move forward. His right side was very weak. This is Nachiket's school in our house. Nachiket with his friend Yash and his teacher Revati. He is doing school activity. This is all hand activity for him. He is learning his mother tongue, Marathi. He can arrange English numbers and also words. Is this the sign of mental retardation? Not at all. He takes interest in family's day-to-day activities. Even though he can stand on his own by taking some support, he can get on and off from bed. He is playing game on computer. See the balance. He is eating sweets. He can open our main door. Vasaman told us that don't see only your child's work. First, treat him like a human being. Today, Nachiket is enjoying his life in his own way. We are moving forward positively. We are not seeing glass is half empty. We are seeing that it is half filled. We have reached so far. The journey with VASA concept will continue, and one day we will surely reach our destination. Thank you for all team, and thank you, Dr. Rajul Vasa.
Thank you very much, and we wish very quick recovery to Nachiket. We are very happy to see the way he is recovering. That's wonderful. And friends, extremely sorry for the low volume. I was noticing, but it was a technical glitch, and we were helpless to work on the sound at that time. So sorry for that sound problem. Yeah, Abhijit, what next?
Yeah, Parth, can you please can you please play audio of Gunesha? So we'll play one audio followed by two videos, and then we will move to Milind. Parth, you there?
Hello everyone. My child Gunaisha Mendiratta was born on 11th April 2018. Due to stopped fetal movement and my increased blood pressure, an urgent cesarean operation was performed. At the time of birth, Gunaisha didn't cry for a timestamp of almost 60 seconds and got admitted to NICU where she was on CPAP support for 4 days to monitor her heart rate. The immediate contact of the newborn and the mother is very important, but unluckily, I was deprived of experiencing this beautiful moment of my life. Later, things appeared to be going well till Gunaisha turned 6 months. Regular pediatrician visits were all fine till the time we came to know about her delayed milestones. The very first milestone in a newborn is head control that was lacking in our baby. Our pediatrician told us to wait till 7 months of her age, and by that time, I was giving her massage toys, thinking that this will help us to achieve her neck control. But when we failed to get what we wanted, we were suggested to visit a neurologist, and thus we met Delhi's best neurologist at her private clinic, where we were told to get an MRI done. As per the MRI reports and doctors' comments, we were informed that there is some injury in her brain due to which there is motor development delay. But this can be cured by regular physiotherapy and occupational sessions and avoiding massage. This was the first time when we came to know about cerebral palsy. Hence, without wasting a single day, we started Gunaisha's therapy sessions at doctor's clinic. I used to travel every day for a 30-minute of therapy session. The initial sessions were giving us a ray of hope that with some effort everything will turn normal and our baby will lead a normal life. But after few months and continuous consultations, when there was negligible improvement, the doctor revisited our case and said, if something has happened at the time of formation, that cannot be cured completely. This statement somehow took away our positive hope and surrounded us with numerous questions. whether our child will be able to lead a normal life, whether she will be physically independent. Will these therapy sessions be able to give results? Will these tears be converted to smile someday? Are we on the right path for our child's development? Despite of all these questions, we continued therapy sessions for her on daily basis without fail. To see a child crying continuously for an hour is the most miserable thing a mother could experience. But I was left with no choice. Kunaisha used to continuously look for me during her session, but I was helpless to give my baby to therapists whom I believed would make her independent. Within 1 year, Kunaisha was given different combination of all possible medicines. And in almost every 3 weeks, the doctor used to change her medicine, saying that those are for better muscle strength and tone. But on the contrary, it had an adverse effect on her emotionally and intellectually. Also, once the medicine stopped or changed, the attained improvement was also gone. As for example, she started saying Papa, but later forgot to say the same. Initially, she was an active child, but with vigorous travel and therapy sessions and maybe medicines, her sleeping pattern was heavily disturbed, and her neurologist gave pills to my 1 year old to make her sleep at night. Kunaisha used to get cold and cough frequently, and we were so scared to miss her therapy sessions that we used to give her medicine even on showing very few symptoms. We were suggested 3 different postures by her therapist to make her sit. But with all the 3 positions, Gunaisha's body was more inclined to right and made us so afraid about her posture that we actually stopped making her sit and were relying on medicines completely. Also, to avoid her inclined sitting posture, as there was no weight bearing on hands, we were suggested to go for an elbow support when Gunaisha was already on an AFO for her feet. And later, we were told to have a neck support for her when her head holding was not as per expectations. But we denied to get all this external support for our child because we as parents have always dreamt of an independent child. And this is when we came to know about VASA concept, where the journey is towards independence. Now with VASA concept, Gunaisha is more happy and an active child. The puffiness on her face that was because of medicines is entirely gone. She has learned new words and has significantly improved intellectually. Now she says many meaningful words and make us understand what she wants. She is now more comfortable with exercises and at times take initiative to do it on her own. With Buddha sitting, her inclined sitting posture has also improved. Imagine that too without any external support. With Gunaisha doing exercises happily, even her grandparents are willingly helping her in daily exercises, which was not at all the case before. With VASA concept, it has empowered us as parents and made us understand that cerebral palsy is not a permanent brain damage but a temporary state which can be improved with hard work and exercises.
So that was the experience shared by mother of 2 year old girl Gunesha. Now we will see a couple of videos of her before VASA and after VASA concept.
Parth, can you pause the video for a while? Yeah, friends, regarding the form is already shared in the comment section in the description section. Just refresh your YouTube page to see the form. Already people are filling the form. I have already received 50 entries of the forms. So it is there. Just refresh the page. You will get the form and you can enter only once. So make it a point that you are doing proper entry. Yeah, thank you very much. Continue, please.
So we can see the girl is crying and crying in this position when she was doing physiotherapy before VASA concept. Now she has achieved great neck control with VASA concept. And now we can see how easily she can coming on that monkey on rod position. Please forward it, Bharat. Yeah, this is again before VASA concept. She is continuously trying in the all fours position, like dog position. She was not cooperating at all. Now see, with the VASA concept, she is trying to come to dog position by her own. This is the duck sitting position before VASA concept. Again, she is crying. She is not comfortable at all. And here with VASA concept, she is playing so happily in the same duck position, duck sitting position. Please forward. Forward. Here she is playing with her father. She is maintaining the Buddha position so nicely. Yeah, so that's the beauty of VASA concept. We'll see another video of 5-year-old child, Muhammad Ali Syed. Parth, can you play that video? So this child is also cerebral palsy. You can see how that child is unstable. I mean, he cannot sit on the sofa. Now the same child is sitting so nicely in Buddha position. He is also crawling. You can easily see the big difference before the VASA concept and during the journey with VASA concept. So that was another short video showing the significant progress in the cerebral palsy child. So after this, Milind, you want to start with Namit Palke?
No, actually, I have a couple of things to clarify.
Sure.
Hi, everyone. Today, during the day, Dr. Vasa madam had a discussion with me, and she has basically clarified on a couple of questions that were raised yesterday. Obviously, they were medical in nature, so she has explained to me as to what the her answers to them are. So I'm just essentially repeating them for you. So one question was whether VASA concept can be used for Parkinson or muscular dystrophy. So Dr. VASA ma'am's clarification there is for all progressive diseases such as Parkinson and muscular dystrophy, Dr. Madam has said that they should take all the medicines that the neurologists have given. So this is a different answer. So for cerebral palsy, which are non-progressive or stroke, where VASA concept is used, we do not recommend neurologist medicine, in a proper manner. But for progressive diseases, Dr. Madam has recommended that they should take all the neurological medicines, and they need not do any exercises. Definitely VASA concept is not used for such patients. The efforts and pain of such exercises may not be worth it, and they are advised I mean, you should advise such patients to live life king size and enjoy life. So that's the answer for those diseases. Now coming to another question, which is going to require little explaining. So let me just take a few minutes for that. So the question was whether in VASA concept we have a medical team or not. So let me just clarify. So let's just repeat what I had said from my own experience and what you heard from families. And I have talked to many families, and we've seen that all doctors, whether neurologists or other types of doctors, are unanimous. They basically send us to physiotherapists. So you are the guys, right? So you are the guys who can help neuro patients. That's point number one. Second is, in terms of what we do. So what VASA concept does is train the families. So we train that families themselves. So there are no highly specialized other medical things like in occupational therapy, speech, or there is no medical team for VASA concept. VASA concept is a different model. So it is up to all of you to think differently. It is up to you to think whether this model, you can think of a model where, instead of working for many months for a few patients with standard therapy, if you want to learn VASA concept, you will be able to empower many more patients simultaneously. And, that is tremendous benefit for patients as well as yourselves. So you can just think on this, whether what kind of, if looking at all these case studies, you see what kind of results are there for VASA concept, what kind of patient benefits are there. And if you can achieve similar patient benefit for your patients through VASA concept for multiple patients, you can see what kind of response you will get, what kind of satisfaction you will get. So that is all I can say right now. VASA concept is designed to help millions of patients, and it is a different model. You need to think differently. That's all I can say. So Parth, can you please play one video of Namit Palke? It's a short, just 2 minutes video. I just want to tell you something on this. Now this is a cerebral palsy child, a boy, who is not used to video. So he is doing it only for you after a lot of retakes. Watch this carefully. I'm going to ask one simple question. You are the experts. I'm going to ask one simple question after that.
I'm 21 years old and was diagnosed with cerebral palsy in the 7th month after my birth. Since then, I had been going through physiotherapy till the age of 18 years. But despite all the efforts that I've put in, I am not able to stand straight because I have developed contracture in my knees. I recently came to know the reason behind this after starting with the VASA concept. I found that the contracture was developed because I was made to walk, which was a regular exercise during the physiotherapy. and for a moment I thought, wow, all these years I have been doing the wrong things and believing whatever the physiotherapist told me. All thanks to Rose ma'am. She is guiding me the right way. Ma'am told me the more I do the given activities, the faster I'll see the improvements. Good thing is that she has prohibited me from walking, because of which the spasticity in my knee muscles has reduced. For me, this is the proof that walking in physiotherapy was the cause of contractures. Now that my knees are improving, my hope to be independent has been increased. If only I had known about VASA concept at a young age, I would have been independent by now. Yes, another boy who joined the VASA concept at the age of 5 and hasn't developed contracture and his condition seems to be improving gradually. He is very fortunate to join the VASA concept at an early age, but that's not the case with the recent patient. He is 33 years old and has learned to sit alone just now. So it's very important that physiotherapists do not force the patients to walk. One good thing about the VASA concept is that it does not require high-end instruments for exercise. A small place with one or two family members to help with exercise and simple things like gym balls and yoga mat are more than enough for the exercise to be done given by VASA concept. Also, like in physiotherapy, there's no need of visiting the doctor every time we have to do exercise.
Thanks, Parth. Can you get the few slides on Namit, please? Will you just three slides there? So in this video, we do not see his condition. So we'll just take a quick look at what is the condition. So as you can see, he's got contractures in the knees. Okay, move on, next slide. So now, after when we started, he started VASA concept. He needed, as you can see, help from his father, and he was not able to do this posture on his own. But as you can see, he's improving on that front. Next, please. So here is another very critical improvement. You can see that when he started this, there is the contractures on the knees are so much that they're bent in this posture quite a lot. But after this was just a matter of 15 days, not more than that. Within 15 days of starting this, his knees have started becoming straightening now. Is that the last slide? No, there's one. Okay. Now, I was going to ask a question. No, that was the right slide. So anyway, because today we are running a little late, I apologize. And, we have a lot of interesting material. So I would request all of you to just bear with us. So go to the next slide, Parth. So I will not spend my time on actual doing question answer. But let me tell you, he did refer to this boy. We saw this boy as Nachiket Patwardhan. So the thing what he explained is Nachiket started with VASA concept way early. Nachiket had probably much more brain issues than Namit Palke. But Nachiket has not developed any contractures. So you can see the big advantage of using VASA concept as early as possible. Okay, we have a contrasting. The next slide, please. Now, he is another boy, 33-year-old patient, and he came quite late to VASA concept, unlike Nachiket. So he was not able to even sit, on significant contractures around the body. But with VASA concept, he is now able to sit, and not only that, he is able to eat by his own hands. So we have all three kinds of patients, and here Namit himself, patient himself has advised what has happened and told us what has happened before and what has happened after VASA concept. Okay, we quickly move on to Shobha Verma. Let's do the PowerPoint quickly first. So here is a family from US. The mother is born and brought up in the US, and they used the latest, most advanced technologies within the US when their daughter was diagnosed. We'll just quickly see the pictures, and she herself has explained, so I don't have to explain much. Okay, here's the family, and before joining, yeah, so this is important. Just take a look at the advanced equipment used in US to make her stand, and she had no neck control, no balance, and you see the advanced equipment used to walk and stand at such a young age. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Now she's able to do VASA concept activities, and she also had an issue with vision. I would request you to listen to the audio. What was the issue? Okay, let's go to the next slide. So she seems to be enjoying now the VASA concept activities and doing these postures, as you can see. So just keep her in mind as you listen to the audio. Let's listen to the audios before and after, please. Before first. And you can leave this picture on. Or if the picture goes, that's fine. No big deal.
My name is Poonam Verma. I live in Dallas, Texas, USA, with my husband Neeraj and our 7-year-old sweet daughter Shobha. Shobha was born on July 8th, 2013 at 24 weeks, a micro premature baby. She was in the ICU for 4 months. 7 days after the day she was born, Shobha's small intestine split in two, causing bleeding in her brain, which led to developmental delays. As she wasn't able to meet her milestones by age 3, she was diagnosed as having cerebral palsy. When we left the ICU, Shobha already had 6 surgeries, and by the age 2, she had a total of 10 surgeries. She had issues with hearing, eyesight, eating, and all types of physical issues. The right side of her body was much weaker than the left side of her body. Looking back, I've asked myself, could any of these surgeries been avoided if we had known of alternative methods? I think so. There were certain requirements Shobha had to meet before being released from the ICU, which included being able to take food or milk by mouth and stopping the water that was building in her brain, known as hydrocephalus. Because Shobha was not able to show that she could take food by mouth, a button was surgically put in near her stomach, which is how we gave her her food and milk until she was strong enough to take by mouth. The hydrocephalus was stabilized with a shunt, which was piping that was installed in her brain that would go all the way down to her stomach, and that's how the water would flow from her brain to the stomach. In the US, it's very common to get services from your state government when you have a child that needs special help. For the first 3 years, we had physical therapists, occupational therapists, hearing and eyesight therapists, nutritional specialists, you kind of name it. They were all coming to our home on a weekly basis. They would try to put on many different devices, AFO brace, a stander where she would be fully strapped to stand straight, a walker where, again, she was very fully strapped so that she could meet her milestones like crawling and walking and standing. You know, as a mother, watching your child be strapped in to any of these devices is really not easy to watch. I didn't enjoy one bit for her to be so confined in a device. And I was always worried that Shobha may be very uncomfortable and wouldn't be able to tell us. Once those devices or braces were taken off, Shobha was not able to do anything. She would just lay on the ground. In my mind, I wished there were other natural ways to help Shobha. but we hadn't found anything yet in our research. During this time, we also worked with Shobha so that we could get the button removed by practicing to feed by mouth. She did really well, and we were able to remove the button at the age of 2. But did you know within a few months, she lost 10 pounds, 4.5 kg of weight, because her intake was not enough, and she was still learning to take food and milk from her mouth. It made me feel very anxious because we knew that Shobha already had weak muscles and bones, and losing weight was not helping the situation. So as a way to help Shobha to take more food by mouth, the occupational therapist would give us different mouth devices that Shobha could hold and put in her mouth for tongue movement, which would help with chewing and eating more solid foods. Looking back, those also did not help at all to improve Shobha's ability to move her tongue or eat more solid foods. Shobha also remained constipated all the time. Getting her to go poop was always a struggle, and we would make changes to her diet, but nothing would change. Shobha would wake up every 15 days in the night, screaming and being upset. She would squint her right eye, put one of her fingers in her mouth to gag, and scream. Nothing would pacify her. And eventually she would go either to sleep or stay awake. She would do that every 2 hours in the night for 3 days and during her nap in the daytime. The doctors in the US never understood why this happened and would tell us time over time to take Shobha for more tests and see if something could be identified. But nothing is guaranteed. After the 3 years was over, the services stopped in our home, and as parents, we were requested to send Shobha to the nearest school. We were told at the time that we should really think about ourselves to make it easy on us as parents, which means that Shobha should be put into a wheelchair. We were very stressed and depressed to hear this news. And I remember tearfully telling my husband, Neeraj, that I wanted Shobha to be independent. I would not accept her being in a wheelchair. So he agreed, and we declined the wheelchair and the ability to send Shobha to a school, and we made a bold decision for her to be homeschooled. My husband and I were determined to find alternative methods at this point, and having Shobha being wheelchair bound for the rest of the life was not an option. This is when we heard about another CP child through a friend, and we contacted his parents to find out more about what steps they were taking. We shared videos of Shobha with the parents, and immediately the feedback was that Shobha had better head control than their son had at that age. They recommended for us to do research about the VASA concept, and that they had also visited Dr. VASA and had seen significant improvements with their son. Now, a new ray of hope. Neeraj and I started to research on the internet on the VASA Concept website. We stayed up late one night, looked at all the kids' videos that were on the website, reviewed all of their progress items that were shared about each child and how much improvements they had made. We started to compare some of the issues that those children were having with what Shobha had, and Neeraj and I agreed that this would be the right next step for us to explore. After 2 months, we received confirmation that our application was accepted, and within 3 weeks, we flew out to Mumbai, India with Shobha, and this deep faith that the VASA concept was going to transform Shobha's life in a way that we could ever dream of.
Okay, Parth, let's play the next one.
We spent 3 weeks in Mumbai learning the VASA concept activities, the diet requirements, all designed by Dr. VASA, and started to make the necessary changes. The first main thing we did was stop milk from her diet immediately. This was a big step for us because we were scared on how not having milk would impact an already very underweight Shobha. But having the faith, we stopped her milk immediately, and to our surprise, 2 miracles happened. First, her constipation stopped. And then, second, the next 10 months, we saw that she regained all of the weight that she had lost the year before. We were so thrilled. After we came back from India, we started to increase the activities we were doing. As we were both working parents, we started to do activities early in the morning before going to the office, coming home at lunch, and then in the evening. We started at 2 hours, then 3 hours, to eventually 5 to 6 hours per day. With that, we strictly followed the diet guidelines, where Shobha was already eating healthy. Taking all dairy out of her diet and replacing it with khichdi and coconut milk played a huge part in her staying healthy without a cold or cough. As a parent, I was so happy to see Shobha stay in good, strong health, and with us not having to worry about taking her to the doctor or she having a cold or a cough. Within 1 or 2 months, we saw physical differences in Shobha. The color of her skin began to change, and the yellowish color that she had turned to beautiful brown skin. Her face began to brighten up, and physically, she wanted to try new things. She started to roll faster and faster to get to wherever she wanted to go in the house. She would try to sit up by herself without being asked. She started to sit with support behind her and slowly started to open her right fingers that normally were in a fist. These are all things that Shobha was not doing before the VASA concept, not even trying to do. As more time went by, her hearing was in the normal range. Her responses became faster when we asked her to do something. She understood the language not only in Hindi but also in English, and she responded to the commands quickly. Within 6 months, her drooling had completely stopped, her head control had improved, and she started to transition from rolling to army crawling. She was already saying yes in Hindi, and now she was turning her head when she wanted to say no and making a sound from her mouth. Seeing these changes in Shobha and see her improve made us excited and motivated to do more and strengthened our faith in the VASA concept. We would continue to go see Dr. VASA when she told us to, and we would be in Finland, or because going to India every 6 months was not necessarily possible. And every 6 months, we would get new progressive activities as Shobha would make improvements. When she turned 5, we taught her to touch her heart when someone asked, "Where's Shobha?" And "How old is Shobha?" She would hold up her left hand with all 5 fingers showing. You know, in the past, it would take Shobha weeks to learn something new. But did you know we taught her this a few times on her birthday, and she understood it the same day? These things would bring smiles to Neeraj and my face, knowing that we had found something in the VASA concept that was unthinkable. Shobha enjoys doing the VASA concept activities so much that you can tell that something is happening with her when she does them. Some activities we would do for 45 minutes, and afterwards we would be tired as parents, but Shobha would come to one of us and start saying yes in Hindi, grab our fingers or legs, so that we would start doing the activities again. You know, when it comes to her eyes, in one of our visits to Finland, Dr. VASA told us bluntly that Shobha is not able to see. She's blind. As parents, it's hard to swallow when you're told that your child is blind. But we took it as a challenge. We had deep faith in Dr. VASA, and the VASA concept has already been cemented. And we knew that Shobha could do anything she put her minds toward to do. We had a winning combination. So Dr. VASA told us that we add this ajwa mix to her diet and that we would start seeing her eyesight will begin to improve. She told us we would see mucus coming from any opening, nose, ears, eyes, and not to worry. It was very normal. Very quickly, we saw mucus dripping from her nose. We didn't panic. We celebrated. More mucus needed to come. You know, at times, Shobha would have this episode to vomit, and once in a few months. It would be easy to guess that she would be sick, but we would not see any other symptoms. And then what we would see is we'd see all this mucus, this transparent, thick liquid that would coming out of her body. But again, we didn't panic. We celebrated. You know, and as time went by, we could tell her eyesight was improving when we would tell her to go from one room to another. And she was able to get there without any additional commands. And while crawling, she wouldn't hurt herself against a wall or any other object in the way. Shobha also began to make eye contact, a first ever in her life. If she's sitting with me and she saw that her papa was coming to sit next to me, she would turn and look at him. And then she would go to his lap. So much improvement in her eyes, and definitely more to come. We requested Dr. VASA to come to the US in June 2019, where we held the first VASA concept workshop with 15 children in 2 weeks. During that time, Dr. VASA worked with us in Shobha on strengthening her right side. Shobha had this lump of skin in her right armpit, and she did not have this in her left armpit. But with 2 days of Dr. VASA working with Shobha and us and showing us how to hold her on the ball, that lump disappeared and it hasn't returned. Both her left and right side look very normal. Shobha's right arm has also strengthened, and she's now able to balance when she sits independently rather than falling on her right side. She's now able to also lift her right arm all the way up to her head, a new action that she was not able to do before. Oh my goodness, it's so awesome to see this. Socially, before the VASA concept, Shobha, who loves to cuddle, would go to anyone, a stranger, a loved one, without any complaints. In the past 2 years, she has learned to say no. She will not go. She'll turn to one of us and start yelling and protesting if she doesn't want to go. It's so great to see emotion from Shobha, which before the VASA concept, it wouldn't happen. Shobha also is finally interested in playing with toys. She'll crawl to her favorite toy to play with it. She'll also play with toys without having to be prompted or having someone there to play with her. All things that were not possible before the VASA concept. Shobha has also started to improve her tongue movement and chewing. She's able to take 4 to 5 pieces of rice puffs, murmura, and manage it in her mouth without gagging. This is also something that's new, and we know that we can continue to give her more and more, and she's able to manage it well. Certain activities, when we started 3 years ago, Shobha would need both of us to give her support. Now there are activities like being in duck or doing back sitting where Shobha is doing independently. This has also allowed her to sit independently for long periods of time. Before the VASA concept, Shobha would only be able to sit for a minute or two. Now she sits independently for hours. If you remember that I mentioned that Shobha would have these nightmares every 15 days, where she would wake up every 2 hours in the night, squint her right eye, put a finger in her mouth, and gag and scream for 3 days. Do you know that since consistently doing the VASA concept, that initially increased to every 1 month, but for the past 4 months, Shobha has not had these nightmares even once. She has been sleeping soundly, and it's all thanks to Dr. VASA and the VASA concept. Cognitively, Shobha understands what is happening in our house, who's talking to who, when we are engaging with her, when we are doing activities that she enjoys versus when she doesn't want to do it, and she picks up on new words very quickly. After 1 or 2 repetitions, she understands those words and implements it. In the 3 years that we have been associated with Dr. VASA, we have seen significant improvement in Shobha. We know it's all due to the guidance that Dr. VASA has given us, and we are so grateful that she continues to share with us. And our faith is that we will get to our end goal for Shobha to be independent. These children are very special that come to us, and we must keep them in care, but at the same time, never give up as parents. The road will be tough, but because it is tough, the end result will be sweeter. Enjoy every moment you have with your child and celebrate every single milestone that comes. Not every parent gets to enjoy every small achievement, and we are so lucky to go through that with our Shobha under the guidance of Dr. VASA.
Wonderful, wonderful, and quite inspiring for all of us. A child who was unable to hear and see, and because of the VASA concept, this is possible, and this is actually a miracle in the medical science which is happening. This is extraordinary result, and I really salute Dr. VASA and your knowledge. It is definitely spreading the value of the in our country also in the international forum. Thank you so much, ma'am, for all. Yeah, Abhijit.
Yeah, Neeraj, I have one PPT to share. Let me share my screen. Okay, so this PPT basically shows the picture of different cerebral palsy patient worldwide. So if we look at the first two slides,
can you make it full screen?
We can see.
So can you play the PPT? It will be full screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, perfect. It's absolutely.
Can you see it now? So as you can see these pictures, you'll notice that every patient is having a severe contracture in the wrist joint and their hands are also bent. But the thing is, since the brain injury can happen at any part of the brain, not sure. I mean, why everyone's hand are bent like this? I mean, that is kind of question to all the physiotherapists. They can think about this, the situation, like irrespective of, the injury at any place of the brain, everyone is having, the same situation here. And even the son of Microsoft CEO, Satya Nadella, he is also no exception to that. So let me just move on to that slide. Yeah. So here you can see the picture of Zen, who is a son of Satya Nadella. And you all know that Satya Nadella is among the top 10 richest person in the world. So you can imagine how much, the money he must have spent for the treatment of his dear son, Zen. But by looking at the photo, one thing is clear, that no matter how much money you spend, if the direction of the treatment is not right, then the true recovery of the CP patient becomes extremely difficult. And then option only remain to maintain that patient. I mean, if I want to specifically talk in terms of what Dr. Vasa always mentioned, so in this case, we do not left with any option other than, maintaining the patient. And that's what precisely seems to be happening here in case of Zen. You can see that he's sitting in the most advanced chair. His neck is rested, foots are supported, chair is powered with the battery and whatnot. But what's the use of this technology from the independence perspective, right? So that is the case. I mean, if the direction is not right, then no matter, I mean, how much money you spend, the patient will, it will be very difficult for patient to be path on the independence. Now let me move on to the next slide. So this is the picture of one rehabilitation center wherein you can see the different CP children or the CP patients. They are accompanied with physiotherapists and the doctors. But looking at their physical dependency, can we really say that all these patients are truly on the path of recovery? Because they are either seated on the special wheelchair, or some patients are, standing using the frame. So everyone has given, the external support. The thing is, brain injury makes the patient's prisoner. The brain injury makes the patient prisoner of their own body. And by making them sit on the chair with the chest belt and so many straps around, aren't we making the body also prisoner of the external support? So that is also, another thing to think of. And I would like to mention one quote here. When a flower doesn't bloom, so you fix the environment in which it grows, and you do not fix the flower, right? So on the similar lines, if we think, when the baby does not achieve the milestone due to brain injury, rather than forcefully making the baby stand or walk, shouldn't the focus be on reorganizing and developing the brain? I mean, this is also a very important question, and I would definitely have all the physiotherapists, all the doctors who have joined this session to think about this important question. Now let's quickly go through some of the cases wherein the children has significantly improved after following the VASA concept. So let me just go through these slides very quickly. So you can see here the Sasha from Russia. So this is the condition of that particular baby before VASA concept. no trunk control at all. And the baby was made to crawl using some Doman's method, Glenn Doman's method. Now with the VASA concept, within 5 days, that particular baby got the trunk control, and you can see in this picture, the baby is sitting in the, the Buddha position, and also, came to dog position very well. So you can see the big difference here. In the following slide, the same baby is playing with the toys, sitting nicely, doing some activities. This is another case, Angie. She's from Holland. So you can see that physiotherapist made her stand irrespective of the knee recover button, and you can also see that in the second picture that she is provided with external oxygen supply. So this is not required at all. I mean, with the VASA concept, Dr. VASA has given very simple exercise called as a chest pumping, with which we can give the natural oxygen to all the CP patients. So the VASA concept actually provide the simplest solution to the complex problem. I mean, that is precisely, I mean, we can say. Now the same, the child, she is, she has made stand with the help of standing frame and some patterning methods of Glenn domain. And now see the difference with the VASA concept. Now the child can sit and do some exercise very actively. This is again, the VASA concept. This is the another case wherein you can see, because of the too much tightness in the hip, that particular child is not able to sit in Buddha position, proper Buddha position, and his knees are also bent and touching to ground. Now with the VASA concept, you can see a big difference. The child is sitting in Buddha position very comfortably. Child is also maintaining the balance on gym ball and doing some activities. These are the different exercises. All right. So in the interest of time, I'll just quickly wrap up this PPT. And before I ask Mr. Jaya Salgar to cover the case of autism, I would like to show just one photo. So this is the evidence of how the VASA concept is having the growing interest in the Western countries. So she is Isabel from France. So she has very keen interest in the VASA concept. So she is examining the patient who is undergoing the treatment with VASA concept. So that is the thing I wanted to quickly share. Now Mrs. Jaya Sargar will cover one unique case related to autism. Are you online, Jaya? Okay, I think she is not here. Milind, do you want to cover anything else?
No, thank you, Dr. Dheeraj. I think there is one interesting case study. I will see how and when we can cover it.
Yeah. Actually, it is an extremely important case study, and I advise that we cover it tomorrow, because many viewers have already left the live session. So, and it is very important message to be delivered. So
Yes.
we are having still 2 more days to come. So we will share that in next, most probably tomorrow or day after. I think that will be more advisable.
Sure.
So shall we wind up the things?
Yes.
Yeah, Neeraj. Before we wind up, I just wanted to say thanks to you also, Neeraj, for coordinating all these things and giving us the platform, the Spinex Global platform, to share our experiences. Thank you so much, Neeraj, for your
Thank
help.
you very much, Abhijit, and thank you very much, Malin. I really appreciate being parents of the sufferers. Still, you are so much interested and you are putting so much energy into delivering this concept, and you are making it a point that people understand this concept. Though you people are not from medical profession, still you are trying your level best to give the best medical knowledge to the medical fraternity. That is really commendable. You are using all the medical terminologies and in a right way you are using that. That is, I really appreciate that, your efforts and your willingness that people understand this and they can give benefit to the others who are already suffering. So I really salute both of you for supporting to organize this event. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much, viewers, for joining us. It was wonderful and very interactive session. You were throughout interacting in the chat group. I really appreciate that. And those who are still watching us after 2.5 hour marathon program, that is also a wonderful achievement for us, and that encourages us a lot. We are looking forward for tomorrow and day after tomorrow sessions. These are going to be a wonderful learning process for all of us, and that is definitely going to change the direction, the way we are treating the neurological patients. I'm very sure for that. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much, Dr. Rajul Vasa ji and Dr. Vivek ji, everyone, Milind sir, Abhijit sir, everyone. Thank you so much for that. Anything, any message you would like to give, Milind sir?
Yes, the only thing I can say is, if I've been with VASA concept only with 1.5 years, and all the insights that I've got are because of only mentoring that I've got only from Dr. Raju Vasa madam. So whatever we have said, there's not much, don't give much credit to us. It is all VASA concept and Dr. Vasa madam. And you can just, all of you can just think that, we non-medical people, if we can learn so much from VASA concept within 1.5 years, what all you can learn. Is my last message and last request.
I fully agree with Milind. So, Neeraj, thank you for your kind word, but all the credit should go to Dr. Vasa and the Vasa concept.
That is very true. That is very true. But the way you are putting the efforts, these are really commendable. I really appreciate that. And I was witnessing that for so many days, not only past 2 days, but so many days people were putting a lot of efforts, and I really appreciate that things. And I thank from all the physiotherapy fraternity on behalf of them. I thank you, both of you. And thank you so much, everyone. Thanks, Dr. Rajul Vasa ji. Thank you, Vivek ji, everyone. Thank you, Parth. Thanks, everyone, and wish you all the best. God bless you. Thank you so much.